ladies, thanks so much for keeping me company this morning. I've loved it. Dawn, should we start with you? Because quite interesting, isn't it, in The Sun, how they're kind of 15 days ended a 40-year career. This is, of course, Philip Schofield. A long history with ITV, 20 plus years, and of course, before that, the BBC.
Honestly, it's in all the papers today, Leah. You can't avoid the story. It is, in all the years I've worked on newspapers, and that's a long, long time. I can't remember a story quite like this one, where not only, obviously, the background is, he either stepped down or was sacked, depending on your point of view, earlier this week. And ITV gave this amazing, it was almost like an obituary, wasn't it? A tribute to he won't be coming back. With Alison Hammond, that was a very strange one. And, as you can see, The Sun have charted, the 15 days going back to that statement there. You can chart it back over the last few years, can't you? Back to 2020 when Holly Willoughby split up from the entertainment agency that they both shared for many, many years. But the story has got so many legs on it today. If you go over to the Daily Mail as well, Phil's final humiliation. And as I said, he has apologised to his colleagues, to his bosses. But the one amazing thing about this story is the fact that he apologised to the Daily Mail. And I don't ever remember a celebrity apologising to a newspaper in quite the way that Philip Schofield has. And the journalist that went to ITV with this story back in 2019, lady called Casey Fine, she is the one that basically has had this apology, and she's been tweeting this morning that there is more to come on this story in the Mail on Sunday tomorrow. So, as we discussed earlier on, Leah, I feel dreadfully, dreadfully sorry for the members of Schofield's family, his wife, daughters and mum. But this story is not going to go away, and there is a lot more to come. And Eamonn Holmes has been speaking out as well, also in the Daily Mail, saying heads will have to roll. People high up at ITV knew what kind of man, quoting Eamonn Holmes here, Schofield was, and they will have questions to answer as well. So a fascinating, ongoing story.
Yeah, many legs on that one. Career ending, well, we'll have to wait and see. Bidisha, you picked out a story in the Eye today, and this is all about Hugh Grant, the actor, his lawsuit against The Sun. That's going to trial.
It is going to trial, and apparently that's exactly what he wants. I mean, this continues our discussion about the media game name and fame. Hugh Grant has been a very long-time campaigner against the tactics of the tabloid press. He's talked about phone hacking and stalking and harassment and intrusion into private lives and all sorts. And now he has been allowed to take this trial to court. He's suing the publishers of The Sun, the news group, because he's alleging a raft of really extraordinary things. He says he's got all the evidence to back it up. For example, fake burglaries and break-ins that the people at the top of The Sun and the news group knew about, followed by immediate articles in the tabloid press detailing the inside of what his house looks like, the inside of everything in his production company. He's saying that they also did something similar to his ex-girlfriend Liz Hurley in the early 2000s. People pretending to be legitimate visitors, planting things in his properties. It's extremely sordid. If you are on the outside and unaffected by it, it makes for very, very addictive reading. But of course, that's what the tabloids are going to say. They're going to say, well, the public hoover up all these sorts of details. But of course, imagine that being done to you. Imagine coming home after a business trip or a holiday and finding out that your stuff has been broken into, but they didn't steal anything at all. But they did go through everything and then report it back to their bosses, allegedly, at News Group.
Yeah, many celebrities coming forward saying, feeling violated by some of the actions from some of the newspapers. Dawn, should we talk about Annabel Croft's husband for a moment?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to do this story because it made me go and say to my own husband how much I loved him this morning. Shocking news. The story came out last night that ex-Wimbledon star Annabel Croft Her husband was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer literally weeks ago, Leah, and has died.
Oh,
he
it's
died on
heartbreaking.
Wednesday, and it is heartbreaking, and I can't believe it. I mean, Annabelle is, they were soulmates. I mean, Annabelle has been with him since she was 21 years old. Her only boyfriend ever. They adored one another. I mean, they really, really were soulmates. Have 3 grown-up children together. And to lose someone that you have loved so much and for so long, so quickly, I honestly, Leah, it just makes you, everyone out there this weekend, if you've got someone you love, just go and give them a bit of a hug. Because,
while they're here.
You really don't know what you've got until it's gone, unfortunately. So thoughts with Annabelle and her family. I mean, just dreadful, dreadful news.
Yeah, absolutely. While your loved ones are here, hug them, tell them you love them. Totally agree. Badisha, can we talk now about this ban? It's in The Guardian, isn't it? And it's a ban on single-use vapes because, the long-term health implications for using them, they're unknown at this stage. But obviously doctors are saying, if you do smoke, vapes are a better option.
I wish it was a ban. In fact, it's being proposed and the government's being put under pressure because exactly as you say, these vapes, e-cigarettes, single-use vapes, which are the new thing, they've been around for so short a time that we don't know what the long-term health implications of them are. E-cigarettes were introduced very initially to help smokers, people who are addicted to cigarettes, come off being addicted to cigarettes. They weren't meant as a sweet or a pastime or something that is harmless, and it's inaccurate to say that they're harmless because we just don't know. The pressure on the government right now is because there's an estimated 9 to 15% of 11 to 15-year-old children who are using e-cigarettes and vapes, including single-use vapes, which are marketed, even though the companies will absolutely deny this, they're marketed like sweets. They are
colourful, aren't
fruity
they?
flavored. Yeah, they're
cartoons,
very colourful.
even.
Exactly. And the shops look like sweet shops. So they're immediately attractive to young people's eyes. That's completely natural. And yet, of course, we don't know anything about the health implications. Common sense would imply that, of course, it's not good for you. You're inhaling something, it's swirling around your lungs, you're exhaling a cloud of God knows whatever that stuff is. It's obviously not better for you than fresh air, is it? And so we don't know if there's going to be a ban. It also has huge ecological cost. You use a vape once, a single-use vape once, you throw it away, and like all plastics, it doesn't break down.
Okay, we're running out of time, but I wanted to just quickly touch on Celine Dion because she's cancelled that world tour. I just want to get your thoughts on that. She's such a legendary singer. She lost her husband recently. Badisha, 20 seconds?
Yes, she's an absolute legend, and I'm so glad you're showing this fabulous picture of her. She suffers from a neurological condition called stiff person syndrome. It causes you to seize up, it causes muscle spasms, and she first began talking about it in 2021. So even though this is getting serious and our heart will go on, she is focusing on recovery and treatment at this time. She's a very strong lady, she's very talented, she has the best medical assistance, so I want to see her again soon when she's better.
Badisha, Dawn, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, this is Sky News Breakfast. More after the break.